So far, you've been given a brief history of the Beetham landfill from the comfort of our studios before we went into the field armed with a camera to showcase as much of the 190 acres of the dump as possible. We've also met two of the many colorful characters that work there, Stephen Lion Cub Khan and Wolde Medhim, who both reached deep into their own unique brand of spiritualism in order to deal with the daily grind of scavenging society's discarded crumbs in order to produce dinner. So while we can see that man should not live by bread alone, there's still the question of what this landfill community feeds on. The idea may not sit comfortably with some of you, but there are vendors who operate inside the dump. One lady, Miss Margaret, is said to have a wicked good bacon shark, complete with exotic condiments. She wasn't there when we visited, but we still managed some refreshments. It's been another long hot day here at the Beetham landfill, and like any other office worker, the people here, it's approaching lunchtime. They want something to eat, they want a snack. Why go into town? Right here, you have bacon shark, cold juices, food and drink to your heart's delight. After lunch and tramping around the putrid landfill under an unforgiving sun, the actual structure of the landfill begins to take shape. To the uninitiated, this may seem like endless miles of random rubbish, but there is actually some order in this chaos. On the southern side of the Beetham dump is what is known as Big Tip, where the big trucks empty their waste. On the northern side, coconut vendors and normal household users empty their waste as well. As one may guess, tip refers to the act of a garbage truck tipping its contents into the landfill. When we arrived at Big Tip earlier, the only danger seemed to be dodging trucks and bulldozers as the garbage was being moved about. Small Tip, though, was a different story, as during the filming of the previous sequence, we had our first glimpse of the violent undercurrent that flows through this dog-eat-dog world. To the uninitiated, this may seem like endless miles of random rubbish, but there is actually some... Don't worry about it. Yeah. Yeah, that's it. So, there will be a public night. But the police might say, oh, no, let me play for that. Nevertheless, no harm was done, and we managed to catch up with one of Small Tip's cooler characters, who is known as both the Emperor and Old Papi. He lives just a stone's throw away in the Beetham Gardens, but he's set up a semi-permanent camp in the dump, where he escapes the midday heat and waits for his hustle to come in. His niche for most of the 45 years he's been here is electrical ballasts that have been thrown away. He says he's able to strip both aluminum and copper from them, and he gives us an expert demonstration.
If I give 500 to 600 of this here, I show them that cutlass and a piece of iron plug out here. Let me show you. Let me show you something. We don't come to it. See now, you see? Then I do so. This here, that going on, right? Just that fella do the same life inside it. There you go on teeth. This one is copper. This one is aluminum. This one is copper. Those simple it is. How we have to do a knife.
He says it's possible to make as much as $300 for just an hour's work. In the communities where you and I live, we normally put our trash to the side of the road. But this is a different town. At the side of the road is a precious commodity, which when recycled, will ensure that a child gets to go to school, that a family has food. For some it's a means of living, for some it's survival. Then there's the massive bottle collection facility, which is ironically run by a former hustler who now has a few people working for him. Gabriel is one of the main men here, and he busies himself by preparing and packaging bottles for buyers. I'm told that bottles fetch between 5 and 30 cents each, and that a certain number of bottles must be packed into each crocus bag for delivery. There is also a very strict rule that no metals are allowed in the glass bags. So, with machine-like speed and precision, Gabriel breaks off bottlenecks that still have a metal ring around them. Bare bottles have to be washed before being resold, and there's separate staff to deal with that. But the recycling that goes on at the Beetham landfill is not only about metals and glass. I was told that there is also a dog food hustle where a person waits for garbage trucks that are returning from fast food outlets. The hustler then combs through the trash and removes by hand all the chicken bones, which are then filled into bread bags. Each bag of bones costs about $5, and I'm told there is a healthy demand for that commodity. Indeed, nothing goes to waste, and even the most mundane, out-of-the-way item may translate itself into $1 or $2. Trash or treasure trove. This material here is used to make the filters of cigarettes, as smokers would know. But undoubtedly this is going to end back up on the streets, recycled with $1 value. For now, it lies here, unwanted, refuse.
We living in a western town, well diddly then. They say gunman strike again, bang bang, another youth fall down. If it's not Beetham, it's Picton or John John. The vibes them appalling, it could not be real. Most of the youths robbing to buy steel. When we pass pon their blocks, your vibes I can feel. Open up your eye, this revelation real. Western town, well diddly then. They say gunman strike again, bang bang, another youth fall down. If it's not Beetham, it's Picton or John John.